Nokomis Warrior Broadcasting presents Varsity Boys Basketball. Tonight, the Mount Blue Cougars take on our own Nokomis Warriors. Streamed live January 17th, 2023. And bringing today's game, Ashton and Abby Karen.
Well, welcome folks to tonight's Class A North matchup between your Nokomis Warriors and the visiting Mount Blue Cougars. Tonight's going to be a barn burner, if I've got any sense for it, folks. What do you think tonight, Abs?
I think it's going to be a great game, I think these are two similar made teams, and it's going to be very interesting to watch. The Mount Blue had 6 players who put themselves on the board last game, and Nokomis had 2 players in the double digits, so I think that's going to be make a really interesting game. And Mount Blue coming off a 49-point win from Morse, it's going to be something to watch.
It really is. Mentioning that Mount Blue game against Morse, a 94, I believe, yes, 94 to 45-point win for a 49-point margin, which is absolutely incredible. That was against Morse, who's sitting at the bottom of Class A South, and Nokomis coming off a heartbreak loss against Camden Hills. That one, that was a really tough one. We had that here at home last week, and I think looking at both of those games kind of brings us to what our keys of the games are for both these teams.
So I think that the Warriors are going to really need to come out strong here. When they played Camden Hills, they just fell behind in that first half, but then they came back and got that 3-point loss. But it's going to be important for them tonight to start off strong right away.
Absolutely. I mean, an incredible effort from the Warriors to come back down 20 at halftime, and I think that is an important key to tonight's game, is start strong. And if you're Mount Blue, I think you really need to prevent that from these Warriors. These Mount Blue boys are going to want to do the same thing. They're going to want to make Nokomis move at their own pace, and that's going to be what they're going to try to do. Nokomis needs to lock down the 3 key players for Mount Blue. That's Sterling, Poisson, and Briggs. Sterling had 28 points in that win against Morse, but we're going to hand it over to our athletic director here, Mr. Elias.
That's right. I didn't add it in. Right. Good evening and welcome to Nokomis Regional High for today's contest between the visiting Cougars of Mount Blue High School and your Nokomis Warriors. We hope you enjoyed today's game and support these athletes, coaches, and officials in a positive manner. Now let's meet the starting lineups. First for the Cougars. A senior, number 2, Jaden Meter. A junior, number 5, Evans Sterling. A senior, number 11, Zach Poisson. A senior, number 14, Chandler Briggs. And a senior, number 21, Zach Coben. The Cougars are coached by Troy Norton and assisted by Nick Coben, Jason Briggs, and Jeremy Drake. And now make some noise for your Nokomis Warriors. A junior, number 4, Alex Grant. A sophomore, number 10, Dawson Townsend. A senior, number 12, Grady Hartsgrove. A junior, number 15, Connor Sides. And a senior, number 35, Madden White. The Warriors are coached by Earl Anderson and assisted by Kyle Peavy, Josh Grant, and Mike Susi. The officials for tonight's game are John Choppy and Chuck Hogan. At this time, would you all please rise and join us in honoring America with the playing of our national anthem and the presentation of colors by the Nokomis JROTC Color Guard. As is customary with the Color Guard, we ask that you all please remain standing until they have exited the gymnasium. Thank you.
color guard. Hold. Order. Colors. Ball out.
Well, I think we're ready for some basketball action here tonight. I'm really excited for this game. I think this is a big game if you're Nokomis. You know, this Mount Blue team sitting at third in Class A North, while Nokomis sitting at 6. Both have similar records. The Warriors have 6 wins, 4 losses, as previously mentioned. Mount Blue with 7 wins, 3 losses. I think this is going to be a good game. I really do. You know, last time they met up, Mount Blue won. That was on December 22nd, and that was a 15-point win for Mount Blue. So let's see what the Warriors can do here tonight. Stop this or end this losing streak that they're on. Up top at Sterling, drives in, shot. He's gonna get that one. Evan Sterling starting it right off quick here. Inbounded to White. Warriors working it up the court at sides. He's gonna lose it. Sterling's got it now. He's driving back in. Another floater. Misses it, but it's tipped out. Mount Blue seems to be running quite a bit of this through Sterling. It's down in the corner with Poisson. Up top now, it's Meter. Poisson again. Handoff, Sterling. Sterling drives in, fake shot. Look at that. Just short, gets his own rebound. That one's going to go bounce around a little bit and fall. Full court press here from Mount Blue, and so far it seems to be flustering the Warriors a little bit. Haven't really had a... Up top it's Hartsgrove. Going to hand off to Grant. Over to White. White drives in, looks for the fake. Out to sides. It's going to be stolen away by Briggs. One-on-one with White. Briggs going to be fouled there. He's going to go to the line for 2. We were talking about the previous game when these two teams met, and Briggs was actually the leader in scoring for Mount Blue in that matchup with 18 points. Poisson had 14 and Sterling had 13. Briggs had a game-high 4 3-pointers, and that really was the difference in that game. Mount Blue finished with 7 3-pointers, and they've been a really good team from beyond the arc. So it'll be interesting to see how Nokomis adapts to that in this game. As he misses the second. Now it's Grant taking up the court. Hartsgrove looks for it. He's going to get it. That's absolutely right. Hartsgrove, great inside presence.
The Nokomis 5 starters, I think, work really well together, in my opinion.
Absolutely, and it's a deep 3 from Briggs. We just talked about that. He's going to be taking those shots more often than not. I'm willing to bet he's going to make them too. A real sharpshooter for this Mount Blue team. Oh, inside feed, just couldn't wrangle it in, was White. Looks like it was tipped out of bounds by Sterling. Grant inbounds to Hartsgrove. Back out to Grant, he's gonna take the 3 and he's gonna make it. What a Drano there from Grant, keeping Nokomis in this. Looks like they've got sides on Sterling, but Sterling's gonna blow right by. That's an easy layup for Sterling. And if you're Nokomis, you're gonna have to find a way to stop him. It's been all him this first quarter for Mount Blue. And pass wrangled in, Sterling again. My goodness. This full court press is getting the best of Nokomis right now. But where I wonder is down the stretch, how is this going to impact Mount Blue? You know, are they looking to get up by enough early on here? Already up 7, less than halfway through the first. Are they looking to get up early on so that they don't have to rely on this extra work here in the second half? Or is this something they're going to keep up with all night?
But this is
go ahead.
also something we've seen from the Warriors. You know, they fall behind.
Reno from Townsend, sorry to interrupt. They're not trying to fall behind tonight, my goodness. This Mount Blue offense is just very fast-paced. And looks like it's going to be a travel. Looks like that's on Stevens, who's checked into the game. He's not very happy with that one. Grant breaks the two-man press. Inside feed to White, and it's blocked, but that's got to be goaltending. That's going to be goaltending. Absolutely. That was fantastic from White, and it doesn't have to go in if, you know, in that case scenario. Great effort there by Sterling, but you know, there's really not much on defense Sterling could do about that one at that point, and Nokomis going to get the 2 points. White now, Sides now on Sterling. Sterling has just got handles, and you know, Sides a very good defensive player, but so far he's been putting the moves on him as a deep 3 is good there. My goodness, Poisson. My goodness, look at that. The threes already for Mount Blue are causing a problem in the press too. Look at that layup there. It's going to be a foul on White, against White. So it's going to be a Nokomis inbound here, but this full court press is killing Nokomis right now. You know, they're doing good when they get the ball on their side of the court, but they've been struggling to get it there. That now Grant's got it stuck in a corner. He's going to get his way out over to Townsend. This Mount Blue team, I mean, great defensive play there. They've got their pedal on the gas, the foot on the pedal. They are gassed up. I mean, this is a very high energy team early on here with just over 3 left in the first. Inbound now for Nokomis, or I guess not. Looks like it's going to be an inbound for Mount Blue. Nokomis needs a defensive stop here. But he's going to have enough space. He's going to take it. Can't make it. Sides saves it. Look at that. Great effort there from Sides. Hartsgrove now. He's all alone. He's going to take it, and he's going to make it. Great shot there from Hartsgrove. We don't usually get to see him flex his range, but he's got it, folks. Don't leave him open. He'll make those shots. And I will say, for a game that so far has felt like it's been all Mount Blue, it's still a pretty close one. 3 points here. Very, very fast-paced game. I love to see it. Sides up top. Grant's going to take a 3. Grant's going to drain a 3. My goodness. And it's a tie game now, folks. Just over 2 left in the first. Look at that, the feed into Sterling, but they're all over him. Doesn't matter, with 2 on him, makes the basket. Sterling is just having his way with this Nokomis defense.
He's already got 10 points on the board here for the Warriors, for the Mount Blue Cougars.
Yeah. I believe it. I mean, he's been really dominating and just finding himself open for those feeds inside, or open enough at least, and finding lanes to drive in. And Sides has been guarding him, and that's, you know, Sides probably one of the best defensive players, if not the best defensive player on this Nokomis team. But Sterling has just found his way around him. Drive in shot. No good. Looks like it's going to be a foul on. Briggs is going to go to the line, I believe. Or nope, it's an inbound. Not a shooting foul. Thought it might have been. Poisson's going to check back in.
Seth Bowden's checked into the game for the Warriors.
That's a player I haven't seen much of lately, and he played a lot in the early games when Townsend was out, and he played spectacularly, so good to see him in early. It's going to be tipped out of bounds. It's going to stay Mount Blue ball. Newmeyer checking in for Hartsgrove now. Newmeyer, another player. We only saw a few minutes from him last time I called the game, but another solid bench player from Nokomis. Up top with it is Meter. White's all over him. He's able to get it out to Coben. Feed inside. Barbetti wants a shot, kicks it out, and it's going to be drained by Briggs. That three-point range is deadly, folks. Mount Blues got another 5-point lead. Looks like their half-court press, not as high energy as it was earlier. Grant still has it up top. Over to Sides. Sides wanted that in feed, couldn't find it. Drive in from White. Kicks it out. Bowden for three. Bowden's gonna make it. Nice little Drano there from Seth Bowden. Love to see it. Wassaw taking it up. He moves it over to Meter. Meter guarded by White. Wassaw back with it now. Hands it over to Briggs. Briggs and Meat now back over to Poisson. He's able to break it. Finds himself open but kicks it out. Drives in for the layup. And looks like it's going to be a shooting foul. Poisson's going to go to the line. Great drive in there, able to draw the foul. Looks like it's on White. That's his second of the night already. So a very fast-paced game. Poisson makes the first, making it a 3-point game now. You know, we were talking earlier, me and Abby, before the game about some of the keys for each of these teams, and for Nokomis, they've really got to lock down Sterling, Poisson, and Briggs. I think that's going to be the key as he knocks down another one, giving Mount Blue 4-point lead, and it looks like it's must have been out of bounds off the inbound on Nokomis. Not sure what happened there. I guess I thought it was out on Mount Blue. Apparently not. 7.8. Sterling gets it, gets the floater, won't fall, gets it back again, another one, and he's going to be fouled. My goodness. Nokomis with just 1 second left on the clock. That is not what we were hoping to see here on this final possession. Borderline sloppy play there from Nokomis. He's going to miss the first. And the second, Sterling, you know, oh, look at that. Almost can't get it to fall. Good shot there from Liso. But as we go into the second quarter, score is 22-18.
We're going to do some sponsors now. Newport Glass, Newport. Gilman Plumbing and Heating, also in Newport.
207-368-2335, 23 Spring Street in Newport.
Newport and Pittsfield locations of Sebastopol Valley Federal Credit Union, 368-4940 and 487-5576.
And the Casa Cattle Farm Store. That's that one, 207-249-2191. Find us on 141 Nokomis Road. We'll be open this weekend. We're a little biased to that one. What do you think, Abs?
Just a little.
Just a little, that's all right. So, 22-18. As we go into the second quarter, Nokomis starting off with the ball. Mount Blue seems to, or at least on this inbound play, be backing off the press a little bit. Bowden's got it, looking for an option. Can't find it, now sides. Close one there, but wrangled in by Grant. Back to sides. Mount Blue defense is not letting up. Grant tries to drive in, can't get nothing. Now it's Grant again, in the corner. He's gonna be stuck, but it looks like it's gonna be out of bounds on Mount Blue. Great defensive effort from Meter there. This Mount Blue defense has just been absolutely menacing. Townsend with it. Tries to feed it in. He does. Wrangled in. What a play from Hartsgrove from Townsend. Much needed basket there. Now Sterling with it up top. Feeds it over to Passant. Sterling's got it back again. Gonna take the three. Not gonna get it to fall. Townsend comes down with the rebound. Grant running the point here. Bowden has it. And looks like we've got a foul. Must be off the ball, not sure. Maybe not. That looks like it's a foul on Passant. It's going to be an inbound for Nokomis. Right underneath with it is Grant. He gets it up. I didn't think that one was going to fall, but it found the gravity. Able to just get up over that rim and in. Great play to tie this game up. My goodness, both of these teams absolutely ferocious so far. Driving in now, look at that. Great play, the feed from Meter over to Coben. Great execution there from Mount Blue. Now kind of moving it up the court as sides. Meter's on him. Meter's gonna poke it away. This defense absolutely menacing for Mount Blue. And it's gonna be stolen by Sterling. He's gonna go up with the dunk. Sterling slamming it down. We don't get to see much of those anymore. Bowden with it. Sides looking to answer. Just short. Saw moving it down. He's going to go all the way with this one. Can't get it to fall. Looks like it's going to be, I believe, a foul called on Sterling. White checking in for Bowden. White yet to get on the board. Is that true? That is true. Yeah, White yet to get on the board for this Nokomis team, and looking at the score, you wouldn't necessarily believe that, but you know, another key to the game we were talking about was this supporting cast from Nokomis needs to be able to share the love a little bit and get on the board, and they've been able to do that. Looks like I spoke a little too soon, didn't I? As White opens up the scoring. Clutch play from White. Sterling with it. Back over. It's a wide open Briggs. Too short. Sterling wrangles the rebound. He's got two Nokomis players on him, but he's able to get out of there. Good play. Wide open is Briggs. Briggs short again. And White wrangles it in and is bringing it down now. Grant wants it. He's going to take it. He's going to drain it. Drano from Grant, and Mount Blue going to call a timeout as Nokomis takes their first lead of the night. This one, if you're not watching, or you're watching you're watching this sometime next week, you're missing out on a good game. This is absolutely fantastic. This has been phenomenal so far. Who do we have for leading scorers so far tonight, Abby?
Well, for the Mount Blue Cougars, we got Sterling, who's put up 12 points for the Cougars, and from it looks, we got Alex Grant with 9 points, those all being threes.
All being threes. That's a key integral part of this Nokomis team is Alex Grant, and he's a sharpshooter to say the least. But it's, Nokomis got a lot of weapons out there that just play really well everywhere, and looks like it's going to be out of bounds after some scuffle there. Mount Blue ball.
Little frustration on the court here.
Well, this is a very high intensity game. To be expected, you don't get a call that maybe one of those 50-50 calls doesn't fall your way. That's a travel and a half. He took 1, 2, 3 steps too many. Just unlucky there for Sterling. And so now Nokomis inbound. Mount Blue back with this full court press. Nokomis looks like they're going to break it, but can't convert, cannot get an offensive possession here. Inbound, Poisson going to meet a lot of resistance, and it's going to be a charge. My goodness, Connor Sides. That's the kind of stuff you love to see. Got his feet set, took the charge like a champ. Nokomis ball. Wow. Cannot get it inbounded here. Finds Hartsgrove. This press has been an issue for Nokomis. This whole Mount Blue defense, in fact, how they've put up 27 points this so far is beyond me, because just absolutely menacing down there.
Very intimidating.
3 from White. That's a Drano, folks. That's a Drano if I've ever seen one. My goodness. And now Nokomis up 4. I've been saying that quite a bit tonight. I usually don't get this many Dranos in, and certainly not in the first half. Into Sterling. Out to Poisson. He's going to drive in. It's going to be another charge. Oh, my goodness. Connor Sides.
What an animal.
What an animal is right. An absolute champ down there. And now Poisson is going to have 3 fouls here. He's not happy about that. But that is great, great play from Connor Sides. We talk about him being able to lock up with a defender, but plays like that are what truly makes someone a good defender. And looks like we've got a foul called. Not 100% sure. But regardless, going to be an inbound for the Warriors here. 3 from Grant. Quick inbound. Didn't fall, but I like that inbound play from Nokomis. The less time that Mount Blue has to make a steal or to wait for a Warriors mistake, the better. Look at Sides now. Oh, wow. That one barely touched the net. A beautiful 3 from Briggs. He has been an animal from beyond the arc for this Mount Blue team. A very well-rounded team, I might add. And looks like we've got something off the court. Looks like White might have been hurt a little bit there. Received a little bit of contact. Warrior fans, which it is a packed house tonight. Looking at it, that Warrior section, and that's not even including the student section, it's packed. Hartsgrove drives in. That one pops up, kicks outsides. Townsend's gonna take that. That's gonna be all his. Can't get it to fall. And now Briggs with the rebound. Moving quickly here in the transition. Floater up, floater down. Does not fall for Meter. Over to Grant. Grant can't get it to fall. White is fighting for it. This Nokomis team, we've been talking about Mount Blue's intensity, but Nokomis as the floater, that one wasn't very pretty, but it worked. And I'll tell you what, that's all that matters. Nokomis keeping a 3-point lead.
Grady Hartsgrove's in the lead now with 10 points.
10 points already. Been an animal. Sterling comes back to answer. Sides moving it quickly here. Mount Blue has not allowed many transition baskets here as Townsend spots up for three. Can't get it to fall. Meter puts the moves on. He's going to get it to fall. That one looked pretty good.
It's his first points of the game.
Mount Blue with a 1-point lead now. 30 seconds left in the half. Sides running the point right now for Nokomis. Guarded by Stevens. Now Grant with it. Meters on him. Townsend looks for the feed into White. He's going to get it too. White with a beautiful basket. Sterling lucky a foul wasn't called. Shot is well short. Tell you what, I like the effort from Barbieri there. But as we go into the half, Nokomis up 34-33 in what has been an absolute back and forth nail biter. Thank you for watching Nokomis Warrior Broadcasting. We'll be back shortly. Don't go anywhere, folks. At their previous time they matched up at the half, Mount Blue was up 32-27, and where Mount Blue really exploded was the second half. So looking at the Warriors here, what they need to do is they need to control the pace. Mount Blue really controlled the pace of that first half, and the Warriors really need to turn off that switch, slow the ball game down a little bit, and keep this one their game. Floater up, no good from Meter. Sides handoff, Hartsgrove. Kick out, White, wide open for three, and he's gonna drain it. I wouldn't expect anything else from him, my goodness. That's a great, caught Mount Blue lacking for sure. Down the corner, Coben kicks back out to Sterling. Sterling looking for something. Can't get it. Hartsgrove really guarding that paint good. Look at that. Townsend comes down with the rebound after Meter couldn't get it to fall. Look at that. Thought he had a steal. Poisson couldn't get it. These teams are going back and forth quite a bit. This Mount Blue team has a ton of energy. Wide open. Who let that one happen? It doesn't fall, but they'll get the rebound. Now Poisson's going to get it to fall. That was very unlucky. Meter was wide open for that one, and Poisson able to wrangle in the rebound. Feels like they caught Nokomis off guard.
I think the third and fourth quarter here for the Warriors is going to be a hit or miss.
I agree. I mean, we saw in their last game, you know, that fourth quarter in their last game was insane. You know, almost coming back. The third and fourth quarter almost coming back, you know, down 20 at the half. Obviously still lost, but, you know, and we've seen other games where they'll go into the half, I believe it was Lawrence. You know, they were up at halftime, not by a huge margin, ended up falling in the end off a buzzer beater. I think if you're Nokomis, Need a little bit of a jump start here. Sterling, he's going to travel. Got to get that shot up sooner. That's one step too many. Looked great. Maybe an extra step. These Maine high school basketball refs, they got eagle eyes. They don't miss a thing. That's going to be out of bounds on Townsend. Mount Blue applying the pressure here on defense. Nokomis been able to score, obviously, but they're having a hard time getting offensive plays drawn up, and Mount Blue is not giving them any breathing space as it's drained from Briggs, giving Mount Blue a 1-point lead here, 38-37. Inbound feed from Sides to White. It's going to fall. Great court vision there from Sides. White.
Now up by 1.
Up by 1. This one is back and forth. My goodness. 5 minutes left. That was a great offensive possession. And, in the transition, Nokomis doing well. Sterling looked like he was behind the basket. Still gets it to fall. He's got to have quite a few tonight.
16.
Yeah, coming off a 28-point game, his energy has got to be high. And it's going to be stolen down low by Coben. Sterling taking it up. Trying to put the moves on. Sides. Thought he picked it away. Sterling going to go to the line for 2. Sides not happy with that one. That's a tough one. Sides, great defensive effort. Must have just gotten a little bit of contact there. And so now Sterling going to the line. Sides got 3 fouls tonight as Sterling puts Mount Blue up by 2. But Sides definitely, doesn't always put up the biggest numbers in terms of points, but definitely a huge asset to this Nokomis team in terms of just being a huge defensive presence.
Absolutely.
Grant putting the moves on. Liso, inbound drive. Sides and 1. Absolutely. Sides making up for that foul with an and 1. I was just talking, he doesn't score a lot, but when he does, he likes to do it in style, and he has a chance to level this game up at 42. It won't fall, and Sterling going to come down with the rebound here. Sterling drives in, kicks it out to Briggs. Grant's all over that. Deep 3 from Briggs. It's going to airball. Mount Blue not able to come down with the rebounds. Looks like Stevens hurt down there. Nokomis can't convert on the 5-on-4 advantage. Stevens still limping a little bit down there. But Sterling's got it up top. White's on him. Stevens finds enough. Sterling finds enough room to shoot, and he does. Banks that one in. Mount Blue, 3-point lead now. Hartsgrove with it. Drives in. Look at that from Hartsgrove. And it's going to fall. Hartsgrove keeping Nokomis in this one.
Hartsgrove putting up 12 points so far for the Warriors.
Hartsgrove is a very, I feel like at times underappreciated player. It's going to be a timeout for Mount Blue. When we talk about this Nokomis team, I feel like we talk a lot about Madden White. Nothing to take away from Madden White. He's a huge player, but Hartsgrove, absolutely fantastic. Let's look at some replays here. Sides. Like to see that and 1 from him coming off the foul. Grant putting the moves on. Sides beats a man. That's an absolutely vicious play there from Sides. Absolutely phenomenal and a much needed basket. That's the kind of stuff Nokomis needs to continue to do is, you know, drive in. This Mount Blue team may be a little taller. I wouldn't necessarily call them a tall team, but a team that Nokomis definitely can drive in and get some of these inside baskets. And as Hartsgrove has shown, Sterling double team Hartsgrove and White on him. That's going to leave a wide open Barbieri, and that's a tough one. That's exactly what happens. You know, Hartsgrove lost his man when he went to double team. Now left Barbieri wide open. Sides now got the handle. He's going to be blocked by Meter. Mount Blue had a brief 5-on-3 advantage, did not convert. Sterling fakes a deep three. Now Briggs with the floater. Air balls wrangled in by Hartsgrove. And the ref not happy with the Mount Blue coach. Looks like a borderline, or he might be flirting with a technical there. The ref and Mount Blue coach having a couple words. But now inbound here is Nokomis's. Grant's got it. Nokomis down 3. Sides looking for somewhere to move. Grant wide open for 3. That's a Drano. No other way to describe that one. Great ball movement from Nokomis. Found Grant wide open. I believe he's got, what, 12 tonight? All from beyond the arc. Wow. Briggs takes a shot under pressure, won't fall. It's a tough shot. Grant was all over him. White, deep 3. Can't get it to fall. Wrangled in. The rebound from Barbieri. Now Meter taking it up the court. Just over a minute. Meter. That's a travel. You can't just walk backwards. That's a tough one for Stevens. That's a tough one. That's just, you know, that was one he thought he had it. Took a step back to get beyond 3. He was wide open. Just got to set the ball down. That's a tough one.
We're going to do some sponsors real quick here.
Let's see. I think I have some of these memorized. D.A. Gould and Grandsons, is that one? Oh, look at that.
Excavating.
D.A. Gould and Grandsons Excavating, 938-2578.
A. Robinson and Corinna, 207-307-9166. Hartley's in Newport, 207-368-5751. They also have the player of the game later on.
That's right. We didn't, the last broadcast didn't have a player of the game. I did notice Mr. Brown
Slacking.
maybe lacking a little bit there. That's all right. We'll have one for this game. That was a fun game to watch, the last game. Nokomis battled back against Camden Hills with Principal Mary Netto and Ryan Bell on the mic. That was a fun one to watch. But now we're here. Tie game at 46. Minute and 12 seconds left in the third period in what has been a brutal back and forth battle between the Warriors and the Cougars. Grant running the point here. Over to Sides. Sides now looks for a lane in. He's going to find it. And looks like he's going to get 2 shots. It's a blocking. It's a foul on Mount Blue. Foul was on Lasso. First one. Rattled around, didn't find its way down. Sides over 2 from beyond the arc tonight, I believe, from the charity stripe tonight. Sterling comes down with the rebound. Less than a minute remaining here.
Excellent offense by the Mount Blue Cougars here.
Yeah, moving the ball very well, finding Sterling wide open. He cannot convert. Nokomis comes down with the rebound. Great from Townsend. And he gets it to go. I thought that was going to be an and one. It wasn't. Looked like he had a little bit of contact there. And that doesn't bother Sides at all. He's going to get it to fall in beautiful fashion with 30 seconds left here.
Connor Sides has 4 fouls this game. Seth Bowden's going to come in for him.
I believe he has 3. I think it's Barbieri from Mount Blue who has 4. Seeing as I think he just checked out. Not sure though. Either way. Sterling up top over to Poisson. Going to take the 3 on the move. Can't get it to fall. Gets his own rebound. Briggs misses that one. Poisson again. Nokomis cannot come down with a rebound here. Drive in from Meter with 1.3 left. Won't fall. Hartsgrove with the rebound. And so now, going into the fourth quarter, a 48-46 game. Absolutely fantastic so far. This has been a good one, and hopefully Nokomis can stick with. I love these nail biters, folks. I think this is it doesn't get any better than this. High school basketball does not get any better than this. This one has been great. It has been fantastic. The Nokomis boys need a big win here. You know, they've fallen to 6th in the Heel Point standings, and I think anybody who's watched any Nokomis Warriors basketball this season knows that they are a top 3, a top 4 team in Class A North. A couple unlucky breaks here tonight, but despite that, it's been a really good game.
We got Madden White with 14 points. He sure came out of
nowhere. Yeah, I believe in the first quarter didn't get anything on the board early on, but he's shown up tonight, and that's, you know, we like I said, you know, me and Abby were talking before the game, and for Mount Blue, you know, the defense for Mount Blue, in order to win tonight, they needed to lock down White and Hartsgrove. And they haven't really had an answer for either of them so far. But what's been bigger is this Nokomis is supporting cast here with Grant. You know, Grant been just a sniper from beyond the arc, and that really makes a difference. Hartsgrove can't get it to fall. Fighting hard for the rebound, but it's still going to find Sterling. Now Meter with it. In the corner to Briggs. Grant's all over him. Briggs able to find some space. Shoots. It won't fall, but it will find its way in the hands of Hartsgrove. Bowden now. Drives in. Look at that from Bowden. The freshman. Absolutely. I believe he's got
5 points.
5. That's what I thought. Sterling now. Ooh, finds Poisson. Townsend, all things considered, that was good defense from Townsend. Poisson had a lot of space. White wants a foul call there. They're getting there's a lot of contact here, and maybe a little more than just healthy basketball, but that's all right as Sterling is going to fake out White, get around Hartsgrove, and his will fall. A 2-point game. Nokomis still in the lead. White now, wide open for 3. Won't get it to fall. Sterling finds another rebound. Wide open up top. Poisson won't fall. Townsend now gets the rebound. Both these teams starting to show a little bit of wear. They've been going very fast, very hard tonight. Bowden looks for the drive in. He's going to travel. That's a tough one. Couldn't get the ball out of his hands fast enough. And so now Side's going to check in for Townsend. What a nail biter.
I'm just amazed by Sterling's points. He's got 22 points on the board.
22 already, wow. He has, I mean, and you know, one thing we don't keep track of is rebounds, but I feel like he's come down with quite a few rebounds. I wouldn't be surprised to find he's got a double-double. Poisson, on the other hand, finds himself a travel there. That's a tough one. Mount Blue is looking to tie this game up, maybe even take the lead on that possession. And now it's Sides. He blows right by Sterling. White drives in, spin move, White, and they're going to call that one a travel.
They just don't like those spin moves. Sterling's getting called for those too.
Well, some of these moves, I don't know if they're necessarily all travels or all not travels per se, but some of these moves are not seen often here in Maine high school basketball. So, oh, look at the feed. Hartsgrove to Bowden. Amazing transition play, and Mount Blue is going to talk this one over. Wow. Just over 5 left. Nokomis makes it a 2-possession game. I will say both teams very low looking at their team fouls. Obviously a lot of game left to play here, but wow, let's look at that Bowden replay. That was a good one to watch. Bowden drives in. He's got 2 on him. Doesn't matter. He's a freshman, but you wouldn't know it. My goodness. Wow. This Nokomis team has been just phenomenal. When they play like this, I truly do think that they can run, with almost any team. Obviously, Class A North, that was a tough draw with Brewer being so dominant this year. And their previous game before Camden Hills, they actually played a decent game, a 27-point loss against Brewer. But when you really think about how good that Brewer team is this year, that doesn't look too bad as we go down the stretch. They've beat number 2 Coney. A win here tonight would be very, very big for the Warriors. Sterling going to fake out White, do a spin move, layup, won't fall. That's a tough one there. Coben came down with the rebound. Sterling was in his way. Sides, fakes out Poisson, kicks it out. Bowden now. And not sure what the call is exactly. Looks like it must be a foul. Looks like it's going to be a foul on Meter. His 3rd of the night.
Townsend's going to come in for Bowden.
I will say, I'm not sure. I believe Townsend was still not playing a huge starting role the last time these two teams met, and that might make, that makes a big difference. Townsend's a big player who makes big shots just like that. My goodness, another Drano from Townsend. Key players like that make a huge difference, and a player that didn't get a lot of attention last year, with the Flag Twins, but a player that is really good, and we look at the future of this Nokomis team, and it's him. He is phenomenal. Mount Blue answered back there, but it's still a 5-point game. Sides has it. Sterling's on him. 3 short from, or off from Grant. Sterling now coming back with it. Look at that, snagged in from Townsend, and now it's White down the stretch, throwing it down. White didn't forget that throwdown from Sterling earlier, and he's showing him how it's really done. Thrown down with a little bit of force there from White. 7-point game now. Ref's gonna blow the whistle on Townsend. Let's look at that. Let's look at that dunk for sure. Wow, that was Let's see if we can get it there. Look, wide open feed. Wow. And the crowd goes wild, rightfully so. Explosive exclamation point on that dunk from White. Meter throws it up. Looked like a circus shot, but it falls. Sterling on Grant. That's a tough one there, but Grant picks it away, fixing his mistake. It stays Nokomis ball. That's a dangerous, dangerous play there. Meter very unhappy with it. From where I could see, that was the right call, though. Sides now. Nokomis looks like they've beat the press. Poisson on sides. Up top is Hartsgrove. Feed in to Hartsgrove from White. Doesn't fall. Rebound from Coben. Oh, and now Meter. Wide open, air balls it. That was just a pass, he says. Finds Coben wide open under the net.
Warriors are still in the lead by 3.
3 points. Mount Blue cut it to a one-possession game. 2 minutes left. I said earlier it was going to be a barn burner. Here we are. Wide open Grant. Wide open 3. Wide open Drano. A 6-point game now. Mount Blue down 54-60. Timeout called. Under 2 left. What a phenomenal game this has been. This is maybe one of the most exciting games I've gotten to call all year. This Nokomis team they've come to play. They've come to show that they are a force to be reckoned with here in Class A North. And I think, regardless of the outcome of tonight's game, it's looking good for us, but regardless, this is a team you cannot sleep on. Wow. Let's look at this dunk one more time. We don't get to see him as often, but it looks good. The steal from Townsend. Lobs it up. Madden White hauls it in, throws it down. Yeah, we don't get to see those as much. Cooper Flagg, we saw a bunch of it last year. His Montverde, Florida team, I believe, went undefeated in their tournament over the weekend. I saw he had MVP in one of their games. Very impressive, representing Newport, Maine on a national level. But now Sterling taking it up, drives in on White. It's going to be stolen by Grant. And Nokomis looking to slow this one down, but wide open in there. It's going to be blocked. That's a great block by Sterling. He saw it coming a mile away. Deep 3 from Poisson, and it falls. A 3-point game once again. Those were pivotal points for Mount Blue. That's a tough one. White fell on the play, tried to get rid of it. It's going to be called a travel. That's a tough turnover. Full timeout called by Mount Blue. So just over a minute left, minute 18. It's a 3-point game here.
I don't know what to think.
I was just going to ask, what are your thoughts? That is not very helpful, Abby. That's all right. Looking down the score sheet for Mount Blue, who's been the player?
You really have to ask that?
It's been Sterling, I bet. But how many points has he put up?
24.
24 points. I will say, I believe going into the third, he had 22. They've regardless, they've been able to really lock him down. He had over 10 in the first. This Nokomis team realized how big of an asset he was and locked him down.
Madden White isn't too far behind him with 16, though. That's
16, very good from White. I will say, like we were talking, some of the keys to the game in Nokomis, one of the keys was to share the love, as I like to say, and get a few more guys on the board, and I think they've done that. It's not just been the White and Hartsgrove show like it was last time these two teams met. Grant's really picked it up. We've seen some more from sides. Townsend's been there too. This has been a good game. Poisson shoots up a rocket, won't fall. Hartsgrove comes down with it. And going to be a timeout, smart timeout there called by Nokomis. Feel like we've had quite a few timeouts here in the last couple minutes, but that was a smart one. Looked like Sides was trapped there in a corner, nowhere to go. Looking at the who we might have as our play of the game. Who are you thinking, Abby?
For me, it's either Madden White or Alex Graham. I mean, he's got 15 points, and they're all threes, which is a phenomenal.
That is very phenomenal. You know, I don't think he's necessarily gone 100% from beyond the arc, but he's been close. And obviously, White been very good. I always like to mention Sides. I think he doesn't get the stat sheet as good, but been a phenomenal player on defense. Hartsgrove too. This has been a good game. I mean, foul there on Meter. It's going to be his fourth, I believe. Yep, that's his fourth. He's in a little bit of trouble. There's 38 seconds left, so not really, but inbound here from Nokomis. Hartsgrove gets it. He's going to be fouled too. Right? I thought that one was maybe a little rough. So that's going to be a foul there. Once again, Nokomis with the inbound. Mount Blue close to being in the bonus here. Inbounds it to Hartsgrove. Nokomis just looking to waste clock. And now Briggs fouls it. Hartsgrove going to go to the line for a 1-and-1 in the bonus now. And Hartsgrove, these are very big shots. This could put Nokomis in a 2-possession advantage. And he's going to make the first. Huge basket there. And something on the court. No, I'm not sure. I'm watching the same game you are, folks, and maybe someone at home knows what's happening, but I certainly don't. As Hartsgrove nails down both, and Anderson gets the timeout. He's fired up, as he should be. Earl Anderson.
Amazing coach, in my opinion.
He is, and we watched a lot of, well, maybe not you as much as I did. I watched a lot of high school basketball. We called 4 seasons worth of games before Anderson came around, and obviously last year maybe didn't get the credit he deserved, leading that Nokomis team to a state championship, under the Flag Twins. But my goodness, to take this team here, and this is a very good team, but a team that needed a really good coach to be put together. You've got a lot of different ages, a lot of different skills on this team, and he's been able to utilize it very well. Nobody thought this Nokomis team was going to be a top force to be reckoned with in Class A North. But looking down the stretch, I mean, this last game, that they've been playing, they come out of here with a win, and that means they'll have beaten 2 out of the top 3 seeds in Class A North in a matter of just a couple weeks. This is a team I still cannot believe, and this just shows you how much I despise heel points, that this is a 6th-ranked team, a team that is, in my mind, undoubtedly in the top 4 of Class A North, if not better than that. And so now, Sterling taking it up. He's got White on him. Deep 3 taken, deep 3 missed from Barberi. And it's going to be a foul, and now Grant going to go to the line. That's the shooter I'd want to be sending to the line if I'm Nokomis. Although, if he makes his shots, oh no, it's not Grant. I apologize. It's Townsend, actually. I think I saw Grant celebrating, and I assumed it was him. That's my bad. Either way, Townsend, how many points has he got tonight?
Dawson has 6 on the point. 6.
6 points.
Yep.
Make
Now
it 7.
7.
Make it 7, absolutely. And a big one now, a 6-point game.
Mind you, both of those were 3s.
Now that just shows big man can shoot. And not sure what the call is. That's all right. Just 20 seconds left.
You can't really hear what they
Oh,
say
I believe that Hartsgrove
line.
over the line. I believe it was on Hartsgrove. That's all right. Clock counting down from 20. Poisson takes it. Poisson drains it. And now a timeout called from Mount Blue. 12 seconds left. This one is coming down to the wire. Tell you what, you look up Barn Burner, and this game's going to be the first link that shows up. I love it. You love to see it. We're flirting with overtime here. Nokomis needs a good offensive possession. They need to burn some time, and at the same time, Mount Blue's got to foul. They've got to send somebody to the line, somebody who hopefully, if you're Mount Blue, doesn't make their shots and keeps this a winnable game. But it's been fantastic. Mount Blue, you know, they've had some big games, and you know their losses this year have been to good teams. You know, that's really I think the difference is between these two teams when we're looking at it is maybe consistency. Mount Blue, they've lost to Brewer twice. They've lost to Coney once. Both very good teams. Nokomis, on the other hand, they've got 2 losses to some lower ranked teams. You know, Lawrence, Camden Hills. But then they come up and they play big in games like this, and it just shows you the potential of this team, especially as we get towards the second half of the season.
Hartsgrove goes to the line, I believe.
Hartsgrove and Nate went 50% last time he was at the line. He's going to be getting up there in points too.
14.
14, my goodness.
12, sorry.
12, that's all right. He's going to miss it. Mount Blue comes down with the rebound. A chance to even this game up. 3 taken very early. That's going to seal the game. That's a tough one from Briggs. And Nokomis comes away with the win, 63-60, beating number 3 ranked Mount Blue in an absolute great game.
A well-deserved win here for the Warriors.
A very well-deserved win. They worked hard for this one. They deserved that win. Let's look at our Hartley's player of the game as we go down the stretch. I think I've got to give this one to Madden White. He gets it an awful lot, but he showed up big time in this game. Was a little quiet there early, but he exploded when Nokomis needed it. Let's run down the leading scorers, Abs.
So we got Alex Grant had 15 points here for the Warrior, but Madden White outscored him by a point.
By a point, and I'll tell you what, you know, that's almost a coin flip when we get down to it, because you know Alex Grant had some very, very pivotal threes and
5 threes.
5 threes. I mean that is as many threes as Nokomis had the last time these two teams met, and that makes a huge difference. Just the diversity of scoring in these two teams. So let's look at the leading scorers for Mount Blue. Who do we got?
Well, of course, we got Evan Sterling with 24 points.
24 points. Absolutely phenomenal.
And then to follow him, we got Briggs and Poisson.
And how many points did they each have?
They had 13.
13 apiece.
Those
are, you know, those 3 players are very, very good for Mount Blue. But, you know, I think this has been a really good game. We'll see you on Thursday, as I believe the boys take on Brewer here. That'll be a fun one, folks. One you're not going to want to miss.
Girls play first at 5.
Girls play
varsity.
first at 5. Okay,
yeah.
Good. I was not aware of that. So we got a double header. That's going to be a good one. You're not going to want to miss it. Thanks for tuning in to Nokomis Warrior Broadcasting. It's been Ashton Karen and Abby Karen. Thank you and good night.
Any public performance, rebroadcast, distribution, or unauthorized retransmission without the express written consent of Nokomis Warrior Broadcasting is strictly prohibited. All rights reserved 2022 and 2023.